Good morning.
Good morning.
Who's saying?
Oh, I'll
Hi,
say it.
today is Wednesday, November 18th, and I'm reading Ezekiel 31 and 32.
All right. What was that, Miss Catherine? Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Yes. All right. Yes. Look at what you're working on. Hannah's promise, Ruth's loyalty. And what is yours? Oh.
I
Yikes.
turned it green, Mom.
What do you do?
Oh, she was excited. She's like, now she's in shock.
There you go.
What's that?
Before we start, may you please hit the subscribe button?
May you please hit the subscribe button? Yes. They found out that we have, 53 subscribers or something like that? 56. And they're like, I know we have more friends than that. So, all right. Pharaoh to be slain.
31. In the 11th year, in the 3rd month, on the 1st day of the month, the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, speak to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and to his multitude. Whom are you like in your greatness? Assyria was a cedar in Lebanon, with fair branches and shade for a forest, and high stature, and its top was among the clouds. The waters made it great, the deep set it up on high. With its rivers it continually ran all around its plants, and set out its little rivers to all the trees of the field. Therefore its height was exalted above all the trees of the field, and its boughs were multiplied, and its branches became long because of the abundance of water as it spread them out. All the fowl of heaven made their nests in its boughs and under its branches. All the beasts of the field gave birth, and under its shadow all great nations lived. Thus it was fair in its greatness, in the length of its branches, for its roots were by many waters. The cedars in the garden of God could not match it. The fir trees were not like its boughs, and the chestnut trees were not like its branches, nor was any tree in the garden of God like it in its beauty. I made it beautiful with an abundance of branches, so that all the trees of Eden envied it, that were in the garden of God. Therefore thus says the Lord God, because it is lifted up in heaven and has shot up its top among the clouds, and its heart is arrogant in its height, I therefore will deliver it into the hand of the mighty one of the nations. He shall surely deal with it. I have driven it out for its wickedness. Aliens, the tyrants of the nations, have cut it off and left it. Upon the mountains and in the valleys, and its branches have fallen, and its boughs have been broken by all the rivers of the land. And all the peoples of the earth have gone down from its shadow and have left it. Upon its ruin, all the fowl of the heavens shall remain, and all the beasts of the field shall be upon its fallen branches, to the end that none of the trees by the water exalt themselves for their height, or shoot up their tops among the clouds, or their well-watered trees stand up in their height. For they all have been delivered to death, to the nether parts of the earth, in the midst of the sons of men, with those who go down to the pit. Thus says the Lord God, on the day when it went down to Sheol, I caused mourning. I covered the deep over it, and restrained its rivers, and its many waters were stayed. And I caused Lebanon to mourn it, and all the trees of the field fainted for it. I made the nations to shake at the sound of its fall, when I cast him down to Sheol with those who descend into the pit. And all the well-watered trees of Eden, the choice and best of Lebanon, were comforted in the nether parts of the earth. They also went down into Sheol with it to those who were slain with the sword. And those who were its power lived under its shadow in the midst of the nations. To whom are you thus like in glory and in greatness among the trees of Eden? Yet you shall be brought down with the trees of Eden to the nether parts of the earth. You shall lie in the midst of the uncircumcised with those who were slain by the sword. there is Pharaoh and
This
all.
is.
This is Pharaoh and all his multitude, says the Lord God. 32. A lament for Pharaoh in Egypt. In the 12th year, in the 12th month, on the first day of the month, the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, take up a lamentation for Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and say to him, You liken yourself to a young lion of the nations, but you are as the monster in the seas, and you burst forth in your rivers, and muddied the waters with your feet, and made foul their rivers. Thus says the Lord God, I will therefore spread out my net over you with the company of many peoples, and they shall bring you up in my net. When I will leave you upon the land, I will cast you out unto the open field, and I will cause all the fowl of the heavens to remain upon you. And I will fill the beasts of the whole earth with you. I will lay your flesh upon the mountains, and fill the valleys with your refuse. And will also water the land with your blood, as far as the mountains, and the rivers shall be full of you. When I put you out, I will cover the heavens, and make their stars dark. And I will cover the sun with a cloud, and the moon shall not give its light. All the bright lights in the heavens I will make dark over you, and set darkness upon your land, says the Lord God. I will also vex the hearts of many peoples when I bring the destruction among the nations into the countries which you have not known. Indeed, I will make many peoples amazed at you, and their king shall be horribly afraid for you when I brandish my sword before them. And they shall tremble at every moment, every man for his own life, on the day of your fall. For thus says the Lord God. The sword of the king of Babylon shall come upon you, and by the swords of the mighty I will cause your multitude to fall. All of them are tyrants of the nations. They shall destroy the pride of Egypt, and its multitude shall be destroyed. I shall also destroy all the beasts from beside many waters, nor shall the foot of man muddy them any more, nor the hooves of beasts muddy them. Then I will make their waters settle, and cause their rivers to run like oil, says the Lord God. When I make the land of Egypt desolate, and the country is destitute of that by which it was full. And when I smite all those who dwell in it, they shall know that I am the Lord. This is the lamentation that they shall chant it. The daughters of the nations shall chant it. They shall chant it over Egypt and over their multitude, says the Lord God. A dirge for Egypt. In the 12th year of the 15th day of the month, the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, wail for the multitude of Egypt, and cast it down her and the daughters of the powerful nations to the nether parts of the earth, with those who go into the pit. Whom do you surpass in beauty? Descend and make their bed, and the uncircumcised. They shall fall into the midst of those who are slain by the sword. She is delivered to the sword. They have drawn her and her multitudes away. The strong among the mighty shall speak to them, and those who help him out of the midst of Sheol. They have gone down, they lay down, still uncircumcised, slain by the sword. Assyria is there in all her company. Her graves are around her. All of them are slain, fallen by the sword, whose graves are set in the sides of the pit, and her company is all around her grave. All of them are slain, fallen by the sword, whose caused terror in the land of the living. There is Elam and all her multitude all around her grave, all of them slain, fallen by the sword, who descend uncircumcised into the nether parts of the earth, who caused their terror in the land of the living, and bore their shame with those who went down to the pit. They have set a bed for her in the midst of the slain with all her multitude. Her graves are all around it, all of them uncircumcised, slain by the sword, though their terror was caused in the land of the living. Yet they have borne their shame with those who go down to the pit. They were put in the midst of those who are slain. There is Meshech, Tubal, and her multitude. The graves are all around them, all of them uncircumcised, slain by the sword, though they cause a terror in the land of the living. They shall not lie with the mighty who are fallen of the uncircumcised, who have gone down to Sheol with their weapons of war, and whose swords were laid under their heads. But the punishment for their iniquity rested upon their bones, though the terror of this mighty ones was once in the land of the living. Indeed, you shall be broken into the midst of the uncircumcised, and shall lie with those who are slain with the sword. There's Edom, also its kings and its officials, who for all their might are laid by those who were slain by the sword. They shall lie with the uncircumcised and with those who go down to the pit. There are also the officials of the north, all of them, and all the Sidonians, who in spite of the terror from their might have gone down in shame with the slain. So they lay down uncircumcised with those who are slain by the sword, and bear their shame with those who go down to the pit. Pharaoh shall see them and shall be comforted over all this multitude slain by the sword. Even Pharaoh and all his army, says the Lord God. Though I have caused the terror of him in the land for the living, yet he shall be laid in the midst of the uncircumcised, with those who are slain and with the sword. Even Pharaoh and all his multitude, says the Lord God.
All right.
Ezekiel
31 and 32.
No.
Okay, well, what did you have?
I have one, but I marked it, and I have 3, and it says
Well,
thus,
just pick one.
what? Thus says the Lord God, I will therefore spread out my net over you with a company of my people,
Many peoples.
and they shall bring you up in my net. Then I will leave you upon the land. So what I think it's really saying is like, I will throw my gloriness upon you.
My company of many
Like I will
peoples.
help. Like I will throw my net out.
Right, I can see that.
Like I could throw like my gloriness for you.
All right.
And help
Thank you
and
so
help you up.
much. Thank you for finding that one. Good job.
Bye.
Bye.
Please
Have a great
subscribe.
day. Yes.
She died.
Say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have a great day. Please subscribe.